There will be no workshop today, so I wanted to clarify that. I've heard some questions. The other exciting thing we're doing today is handing out certificates to recent attendees of prior workshops like this. If you haven't already, there's a gentleman outside named Bill Winston who is collecting the names of those individuals who are here for that purpose. At the end of the mayor's remarks, she will invite those individuals who we have names and certificates for to come up and get their certificate. What I would ask is that when you come out of your seats, you come to this side of the podium. She will hand you your certificate and then walk to that side of the podium or return to your seat. Please be mindful that there's a camera in front of me here that will be live streaming to Channel 13, the mayor's 16, thank you, the mayor's social media platforms. There's also a camera here that will film the sign language interpreter, and for our the community that needs that service, we want to not block them. So 10 to 15 minutes. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it.
And now, we bring you the following live press announcement. Our regularly scheduled program will resume following the announcement.
Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Thomas Bowen, and I have the pleasure of serving as Director of African American Strategic Engagement within the Executive Office of Mayor Muriel Bowser, where I also serve as the Director of the Mayor's Office on African American Affairs. It is absolutely beautiful outside, and it's beautiful here inside, with all of you here, carrying your hopes and dreams of home ownership. James Baldwin once preached, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." Today, Mayor Bowser is speaking to our future by addressing our history, a history where many qualified Black residents were denied loans because of discriminatory policies and practices. Our future is one where we make sure that Black residents have the information, resources, and support needed to become homeowners, and more importantly, to build wealth. This is how we choose to celebrate Black History Month.
Amen.
On this Saturday, February 18th at 10 a.m., we will have a Black home ownership workshop at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library. We invite all Black residents who have ever dreamt of home ownership, interested in or ready to buy a home, to come out and learn more about the home buying process. But please be sure to register. As of today, over 300 people have registered. You can sign up at frontdoor.dc.gov. That's frontdoor.dc.gov. Two individuals that represent the hope and dream of Black home ownership are Mr. Harry Christian III and Anthony Ricardo Keith Jr. In the fall of 2021, Harry and his husband Tony bought a house in the beautiful Marshall Heights neighborhood in Ward 7. Their home purchase was made possible with $20,000 in down payment assistance from the Home Purchase Assistance Program, commonly called HPAP. Their home search journey was featured, look at this, on season 210, episode 9 of House Hunters on HGTV. The program aired last year during Black History Month, and I'm sure you can find it online. That's season 210, episode 9 of House Hunters. They will sign autographs immediately following today. Now, please join me in welcoming the hope and dream of our ancestors, Mr. Harry Christian and Mr. Tony Keith Jr.
Thank you. Again, I'm Harry Christian, and this is my husband, Tony. We were married in 2018. After our wedding, we knew that the next step for us would be homeownership. However, we didn't know how that could have been possible. Yeah, we really didn't know. With Tony being a DC native and me a transplant originally from Philadelphia, we knew that we wanted to stay in the district. However, again, the housing costs back in 2020 and 2021 was really high. So I began to just do some research on programs in DC. Of the many programs here for first-time home buyers, HPAP resonated with me. We started the program in 2020. It was a bit daunting at first for the simple fact that, first-time home buying, they're asking me a lot of questions. They need a lot of materials and a lot of documents, and there's a lot of back and forth and letter writing. But for me, I just stayed steadfast in, our goal in purchasing a home. Shortly after the process in 2021, we finally received our NOE, which is a Notice of Eligibility. Before we received that, we really didn't think that purchasing a home at that time would happen for us. But that gave us both a glimpse of hope that we could absolutely purchase a home here. Once we got the NOE, we ran straight fast to looking for a mortgage, obtaining a mortgage, and after that, our dream really did come true, and we owe it all to the HPAP program, again for sparking that light in our minds and in our hopes and dreams that something like this really could come true for us. So again, we're thankful for HPAT. We're thankful for the program. For those of you who are in the program, please stick to it. Don't give up. It really is worth it, and it really is helpful. And you will, just like us, have the opportunity to be a first-time home buyer. And with that, we would like to introduce the Mayor of the District of Columbia, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, that's a story. Let's hear for our home buyers, our Marshall Heights neighborhood. So Harry and Tony, thanks for that. I frequently start my press events with DC residents who can show you and talk in real language about their experiences. We know it's helpful because you can see real live people just like you who have made a decision to invest in Washington, D.C. and build their lives here, who have actually filled out the forms, gone to the events, gone to get a mortgage, and now are making payments on their mortgage, building equity and payments for their future. So that's what I like to hear. Let's give them another round of applause. And as someone who watches a lot of HGTV, I tell you, I will be looking for that episode myself. We're here today in beautiful Ward 8 at our Department of Housing and Community Development. We are located in what we call the Housing Resource Center. So for a lot of people who I see around the city who will stop me and ask questions about housing and how can I sign up for a program, we have a place on the World Wide Web, as you just heard about, frontdoordc.gov. But we also have this beautiful location in Ward 8 at the Housing Resource Center. So I want to congratulate everyone who is in this room. For those watching, this room is filled with wonderful Washingtonians who are about to get the certificate that you just heard about, their HPAP certificate. You may have heard me talk about my own home ownership journey now more than 20 years ago when I was able to buy my first home in the district. I was also in a first home buyers program. And I say without equivocation that it changed my life. I, like Marshall Heights, went to a great neighborhood in D.C. called Riggs Park. I bought a home that I thought was perfect for me in a great neighborhood. I became an ANC commissioner, a council member, and now you're three-term mayor. But for that little house in Riggs Park, I may not be standing here. But more than that, I think that you all know having your own roof over your head, that you put your own key in the door, you decide what color you want your bedroom, your bathroom, your kitchen, and you can somewhat control your expenses from year to year. There's nothing like that. But what's even better, you can pay one day. Now, in my case, I bought a long time ago, a little $127,000 house. Still a little house, but it's worth a whole lot more. And having that piggy bank, as I call it, has allowed me to make some decisions about my own life, to take risk, and to know that I always have that equity to count on. And those types of investments will serve me, but it will also serve my daughter. A large part of the reason that we're going to spend this 4 years that you have given me to take DC to the next level, we're going to focus on Black home ownership. And the reason for that is we know the data. 34% of Black households in DC own their own homes. That's compared to nearly 50% of white households that own their own homes. So there's no surprise then that we continue to have a racial wealth gap in this city. White households and Black households in DC have most of their wealth in their homes. So equalizing or eliminating that gap really, really will depend on how well we can get people in our city the ability to buy their own homes. So we know that we have to be very intentional to make up for the past. There are some long-standing policies that our federal government and local policies have discriminated against Black homeownership. So we created a $40 million package of legacy initiatives, which include the Black Homeownership Fund. It also includes legal assistance to ensure families can pass their homes from one generation to the next. We'll have another event about that because we need to talk about that in our community. You know what I mean, right? We also increased the maximum assistance from HPAP from $84,000, which is what it was when I became mayor, to $202,000 now. And last fall, our Black Homeownership Strike Force issued its report, and we created an important goal. In my administration, we create big goals because I believe if you don't have a goal and a plan to get there, you simply won't get there. You'll just be talking a lot. And we want to make sure we get there. So we want to add 20,000 Black homeowners by 2030 in Washington, D.C. And we know in that number will be you. Everybody assembled here. So we also know that not all paths will lead to home ownership, or they won't all look the same. But we know that starting the process is helpful when we know more people can save, fix their credit if they have credit issues. They can get great jobs for a great organization that has great pay and benefits, like DC government. And for all of our DC government employees, part of our focus is to encourage them to live in the jurisdiction that they serve. And that is why we make a number of big investments in our employee assisted housing program. So no matter what your situation is, we want to take some of the mystique out of home buying, as you heard from our homeowners. And we want to make sure that you have the programs and services at your fingertips to get started. So that's what we will be doing this Saturday at the MLK Memorial Library. You'll be able to talk to counselors, realtors, lenders, appraisers, and much more. And you will be ready for the home purchase assistance pre-purchase orientation, where participants can receive a certificate of attendance that serves as your required HPAP training. So with that, I want to congratulate my team here at DHCD. Give them a big round of applause. I want to also acknowledge our partners who I believe are here, who help us with our HPAP applications. So Clifford Beckert, is Clifford Beckert here? He's in the overflow. Well, good. There's a whole nother group of people. George Lambert from the Greater Washington Urban League. Jane Brown. Thank you, George. Jane Brown from the University Legal Services. Thank you, Jane. And I also want to acknowledge our ANC commissioners in Ward 8. I understand that Deborah Wells is here. So thank you, Commissioner, for being here as well. So with that, I want to introduce Colleen Green, who is our new director for DHCD, to say a little bit more about our programs.
Good morning, and happy Black History Month. Thank you, Mayor Bowser, for the introduction. My name is Colleen Green, and I have the pleasure of serving as Acting Director of DC Department of Housing and Community Development. I'd like to welcome you all and the viewing public to DHCD and our Housing Resource Center here at the intersection of Good Hope Road and Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue in Southeast in downtown historic Anacostia. The Housing Resource Center is staffed in person and by calling 202-442-7200 Monday through Friday from 8:15 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. And it can be your one-stop shop for all things housing. We're co-located with our CBO partners, University Legal Services. Our network of community-based organizations provide outreach and intake for many of our programs, including those being discussed today, like HPAP, but also inclusionary zoning, affordable housing dwelling units, and the single-family residential rehabilitation program. Speaking of HPAP, the road to home ownership has several steps. The first step to accessing our homeownership programs is to attend what we call a pre-purchase orientation. The information provided there will help you understand what purchasing a home entails. What does your credit score need to be? How much of your income should you plan on spending on housing? How do you find a realtor or a mortgage company? All of these questions and more will be answered during the orientation. And once you complete that training, you'll be issued a certificate. The certificate is what you need to proceed to one of our housing counseling organizations to apply for HPAP. That's the second step. The third step and final steps are to receive a notice of eligibility or pre-qualification for HPAP, and finally, of course, to provide an offer for a home and then to close on that home. If this sounds intriguing to you, please do join us on Saturday. If you can't make it on Saturday, please know that this orientation and training is offered through our housing counseling organizations weekly, and you can learn more by visiting DHCD's website. We also hope to bring our housing resources to you wherever you are, like on Saturday and in future events. By way of additional information, I know that Deputy Mayor Falchicchio has a team at DEMPED are also looking at new ways to get the word out about the housing programs that exist in DC. So if you're a DC-based marketing company, look out for an RFP from DEMPED later this month. Homeownership is a lifelong commitment, so after you've owned your home for some time, you may find that you need a new roof. We'll be there for you. Or you may find yourself in circumstances that lead you to fall behind on your utilities or your mortgage. DC will be there for you. And with today's announcement, there's two more ways for us to help. First, the Heirs Property Assistance Program. In the fiscal year 23 budget, Mayor Bowser proposed the establishment of an Heirs Property Assistance Program to assist families in maintaining their family property after the original homeowner passes. The program will provide grants to low-income individuals to pay for legal services necessary to obtain clear legal title to inherited property. Today, I'm announcing the release of a request for applications for a qualified applicant or applicants to administer the program. So if you're a legal service provider or other organization with experience helping heirs, please visit our website. And if you're an heir in need of assistance, look for further announcements this summer on how to access this program. The second announcement is the Residential Accessory Apartment Program, or RAP. In fiscal year 22 and 23 budgets, Mayor Bowser provided over $2 million in funding for the establishment of an affordable dwelling unit pilot program. I'm excited to announce that beginning on February 28th, we will start accepting applications for this program. So if you own a home or you want to add an accessory dwelling unit, sometimes called a granny flat or mother-in-law suite, in your attic, in your basement, or in your backyard, and help to contribute to our housing goals, then please consider applying later this month at our DHCDC website. In conclusion, no matter where you are on your journey of home ownership or where you are in the city, at the beginning or in the middle, or like my announcement today, towards the end of the home ownership journey, we'll be there. And to access these programs and announcements, again, visit dhcd.dc.gov or call us at 202-442-7200. I'd now like to welcome to the podium Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking Commissioner Karima Woods for remarks.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Black History Month, and welcome to Get Ready, DC. First, I just want to acknowledge our fierce leader and visionary, Mayor Bowser, for putting a very important spotlight on this topic. As a homeowner in the district, I sincerely appreciate it, and I hope that you all do as well. So thank you, Mayor Bowser. As Director Green has stated, I'm Karima Woods, Commissioner for the district's Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking, also known as DISB. And if you have not heard about DISB, hopefully after today, you'll learn a little bit about what we do and reach out to us if you want to get more information about our services and programs. The Department of Insurance, Securities, and Banking is the district's chief financial regulatory agency. We regulate financial service entities here in the district, insurance, securities, and also banking. More importantly, we have a focus around education and empowerment of residents around their finances. And that includes supporting residents in meeting their homeownership goals. So a little bit about the programs that we have for not only purchasing a home, but also if you have a home, ensuring that you keep your home and prevent any type of foreclosure. Our Financially Fit DC program is an online tool. You can utilize it to do everything from creating a budget to managing your credit, to saving for any major goal. More importantly, you can also use it to assist you as you're going through the home buying process through the DC Home Buyers Club. We also have a signature program called the Opportunity Accounts Program. It's a 4-to-1 match savings program where you can save up to $7,500, and those funds can be used towards any of your finance goals, particularly the purchase of a home. And what we found through the 600 plus residents who have utilized the Opportunity Accounts Program is that it can be coupled with many of the programs that you've heard Director Green speak about, in particular the HPAP program. So it's important to know all of the resources that are available to residents to assist them on their home purchasing journey. In addition, we have a focus around ensuring that if for any reason you're behind on your mortgage or you are facing challenges with your finances, through our foreclosure prevention and mediation program and our partnerships with housing counseling services, we can support you along the way. So these are some of the programs that we offer. We want to make sure that you are aware of them. Please visit our website at disb.dc.gov. And also, as it's been mentioned, please also visit frontdoor.dc.gov. We're here to support you along your journey. Please reach out to us. And again, I want to just acknowledge and thank all of our partners here today. And as you've heard, February 18th, this Saturday, Get Ready DC Black Homeownership Workshop. We want to see you there. We want you to take advantage of all of the resources and information and partners that we'll have on site at MLK Library to assist you on your homeownership journey. With that, I'll turn things back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Karima. Okay, so now you get one thing that you need, this certificate. So I am going to ask Director Green to hold those. And as I call your name, please come up. Mustafa Adib. Mustafa? Congratulations. Alicia Bluford. Alicia? Jeffrey Bluford. Timothy Cox. Sebleh Huluka. Sebleh. Muhammad Abdul Kareem. Nicole Lamar. Jantan Selu. Nicole? And Jantan? Karen Suljit. Karen of DC statehood fame. And Abraham Tesfaye. Free DC. Abraham. Thank you. Congratulations. Trenton Thomas. LaShawn Love. Good luck. Good luck. Is LaShawn here? Nope. Okay. Hi, LaShawn. Congratulations. This way is good. I like your hair. Awesome. You're welcome. April Alston and Muhammad Hussein. April? Antika Kirkland and Tomisha Foster. You're welcome. Tomisha Foster, okay. Taisha Foster, there she is. Where you looking? Okay, let me give you her. I'll give you her sister. Thank you. All right, you're welcome. All right, a sister trio, a duo. Tyshawn Currington and Carl Weeksell. Tyshawn? 27-year-old, about to be homeowner. That's what I'm talking about, Tyshawn. Gotta tell your friends. Carl Weeks L. Okay. Frederica Mercer. Carl. Frederica?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm going to take a picture.
Of course.
Because I took off work today and they don't believe me. So this is my proof.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dolores Clayton. Sherelle Davis. Dwayne Hill, Rita Kenzie, Sherelle.
Congratulations.
Rita. Thanks to meet you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Dwayne Hill. Yes. Congratulations. Tadeli Andy Wasan Belane. Tadele. Chanel Hudson, and Coralie Jean-Marie. Chanel? Coralie? Good luck to you. Thanks so much. Antone Bamba Bantu and Michaela Bennett. You're welcome. Michaela? Yep. All right. Do you see water? Thank you for your service. Daniel Muhammad and Nyla Roy. Kiwan Ren and Kyla Roberts. Kiwan Ren? Okay, Daniel. Nice to meet you. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. What's your name? Kyla. All right, Kyla. There you are. Congratulations. Good luck. Nyla Roy. Congratulations. Good luck. Good luck. Kaiwan, nice to meet you. Good luck to you. You work in DC government?
Department of Employment Services.
DOS, thank you for your service. DC Gov, DOS, thank you. Estashu Kabede and Leslie Johnson. Estashu. Shanice Kemp and Bernadette McIntyre. What's your name?
Shanice Kemp.
Shanice Kemp. And Little. Nice to meet you. All right, Hayden. Nice to meet you. Oh, what's your name, dear?
Bernadette McIntyre.
Okay. Congratulations, Bernadette. Good luck.
The last three.
Okay. Brianna Rouse. Maizan Weraday. Brianne Bruce. Good luck. Where are you looking? Where are you going to look for a place?
I'm actually in the Marshall Heights area now.
Marshall Heights. All right, Marshall Heights. You got a new neighbor. Maizan Weraday. Congratulations. Good luck to you. But Kaya Leary. All right, let's give everybody a big round of applause. Kaya Leary. Good luck to you. And those are two to be picked up. And just a reminder, again, yes, I'm going to get to questions in 1 second. I'm going to start with press questions, and then I'll take a few community questions. Any press questions? Okay.
Hey, Mayor, how are you? Speaking about HPAP, since the city increased the amount of assistance that's available for every potential homeowner to over $200,000, I'm curious if you guys have seen essentially more people applying, and if, because there's been an increase in applications, has DHCD staffed up to make sure that they can handle that increased demand from applicants?
Well, as you know, we work with partner organizations, but I think that's a great question. I think you even heard from our homeowners that everyone wants processes to go faster. So I'm going to ask Director Green to speak a little bit about the demand and who's helping us with it.
Hi. We're meeting the demand. We have not been oversubscribed at this point. So there is funding for everyone that is interested in HPAP and buying a home at this point. In terms of the processes, we are working with our housing counseling agencies and community-based partners to fine tune and streamline where things can be shorter. Right now, it's about 45 days to get your notice of eligibility so you can begin shopping for a home, or looking for something to offer on. So that's kind of where we are.
Okay. Any other questions? Press questions? Press questions? Okay, I'm going to turn to yep.
Mayor, just one more, just off topic
Sure.
on this one, if I could. Obviously, as you know, right now the homeless encampment at McPherson Square is being cleared. That clearing was bumped up about 2 months. There was multiple council members and organizations that asked for it to be delayed because they said some people down there still weren't connected to housing and won't have anywhere to go today. I'm just curious why you decided to proceed with the clearing as it's happened.
We don't believe that it is safe for people to live on the street. And we especially don't think it's safe for people to live in a growing and even an increasingly dangerous encampment. And people who care about housing and getting people housed, in my view, shouldn't want that either. And so the argument was that we should wait until April. And in April, we think that there could be untold numbers of people who were living there in unsanitary and dangerous conditions. As you know, we have been working over a couple of years on making sure that people who are living in encampments are connected to the resources they need, housing or shelter. And it is probably also very clear to you that people who find themselves in a homeless encampment oftentimes have many, many hurdles to get over that make connecting to services difficult. So no one should promote the idea that we're not trying to connect people to services or the abundance of housing assistance that exists in DC. But we should all be clear that this is one of the most complex human conditions and problems that exist in a city. And making sure that people who are in desperate need of help get desperately helped is what we're focused on. But we know, because we've had experience with other sites, that when we can get people in a more stable environment, they are more likely to be able to use the vouchers that they already have. They are more likely to be able to get their behavioral health issues stabilized. They're more likely to be able to connect to their doctors. And for sure, they are less likely to be preyed on by people who are turning those encampments into drug dealing havens. So I got to be clear. We got to do better than McPherson. And a way to do that is making sure that people get the services that they need. Now, is it a magic wand? No, it's not. Will there be people that we still have to, that will move to other places because they just don't want to come inside? Yes, there will be. But what we have seen from site to site is that there are fewer people each time, and more people are getting connected to services. So that's why we didn't wait for this kind of artificial date in April when the hypothermia season is over. You've seen the temperatures in February, and we're not talking about this notion that people are being evicted from outside squalid conditions is, I think, the wrong language to use. What we're doing is insisting that people get connected to the services that we know work. Okay, I'll be able to take a few community questions. One here. Okay, you'll start in 3 here.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, just to start off, I'm from Ward 8.
Okay.
Lived here my whole life, and I have a question around, you hit on a lot of things when you first started, so just one quick question about like the rates on the form for HPAP. Are they going to ever include inflation for these ever-going, steadily rising housing prices in the district? There's a lot of articles out there about how we're in a bubble because we're in a federal market where our stuff will not go down due to the bubble bursting or something like that, because there's a litany of government contractors in different places. So that was my question. Will that chart ever go up?
Well, I hope you heard me say that we went from 87,000 to 202,000.
The income caps.
No, that is the amount of HPAP that you can receive. That's not the. Oh, you're asking if the income caps would be
Yes.
raised. Would more people be eligible for HPAP?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Because-
I get your point now. And I have to tell you, I am always looking for opportunities to do that. And in this budget process, I know DHCD, they will have some ideas about how to help more people, but I'm always looking to increase the people who are eligible. And here's why. We, as you've noted, we live in a amenity-rich community. A lot of people want to be here, so that means the demand on housing cost is always going to be high. People have good jobs here, which means they are willing to pay more, which means the cost of housing is always going to be higher here than in some places where those things aren't true. And so we're always looking for ways to make sure more middle income people can qualify for our programs and services. Now, I will tell you that is sometimes not popular or easy thing for me to sell to the DC Council. I just got to make it plain. Yes, we need to be able to invest in our lowest income people, 0 to 30%. We do, and we do that a lot. But we also need to be able to invest in our government workers who may have one good salary or two good salaries, but still need to be able to afford to live here in the district. And we get a benefit from that, not just your tax revenue, not just your family patronizing our restaurants or your kids in school, but we like, especially our employees, to live closer to where they work.
My second question is around jobs. So I graduated from UDC with my bachelor's, and I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous.
That's okay, go ahead.
But anyhow, so you spoke on jobs and how we're going to retain our residents, but I don't see where we're retaining the local talent from the local university into these jobs. Now, of course, I've been able to outside study and things like that, but my question is for the masses of people who stays in the public institution of DC, the only one, funded from Congress, blah, 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 blah. But my question is about the creation of jobs within the DC government for those folk who are coming out of college.
Sure.
Because
what we do, we create jobs that we need. Okay, so I don't want anybody to think of DC government as a place for superfluous jobs, right? Because then if we did that, you all would be paying a whole lot more taxes. We have 37,000 people who work for us, and we're hiring right now. All right, so I don't know what you do or what you want to do, but we're hiring police officers, teachers, counselors. We're hiring people in DYRS. We're hiring case managers to help us on the issue that was just described to get more people in housing. We're hiring housing navigators. We're hiring nurses. Did I mention? We are hiring. All right. So if you ask me about anyone who graduates from UDC, Trinity, you name it, go to dc.gov. What is it called? dchr.dc.gov. We're hiring. Yes, there was a question here. Go ahead. Okay. Let's make sure the camera can hear you. Okay.
Hi, I am so excited about this event.
Good.
And I'm a real estate professional, so I wanted to know, I heard you mention about the ADU program.
Yeah.
And getting more homeowners involved in that.
Yeah.
Because there is a slight inventory issue with that. I wanted to know how I, as a professional, can help clients that own homes. Are there any incentives offered, or how can I be of assistance in making that something available to our community?
That's a great question. And you heard the director talk about ADUs previously. And some years ago, we looked at our zoning law to make sure it was easier for homeowners to turn property that they already have into a separate unit. They may be able to use it for their own family, as you heard. Some people, especially people who are raising kids may have a family member that comes to live with them. Or they may be able to convert what you've seen on their own property, a garage that has a unit above, or turn that garage into a unit that's separate from the house. And people do that now. They don't always do it legally. All right. So we want them to make sure that they have a legal housing unit that is safe, but may also be income producing. That's another way that helps people afford a bigger house or afford a newer house or a different house, is that they can look at their property and say, I can live in this portion and I can rent the other portion. Let me, and Director Green already talked about getting some more activity around this program.
So it's a program that is piloting. We're going to be asking a lot of different community outreach efforts. So working with the realtors is definitely one pathway to do that. We're also going to be looking at homeowners that we've already funded to see if they would also like to convert some of their property into the ADU. But it's really open to all. And it's a way to add to our inventory to help your families, to help create more affordable units for the residents of the district.
I just wanted to, I had mentioned incentivizing for the homeowners, and also our tiny houses included into that, because I'm starting to see an influx of tiny houses in little, what are they called, alleys. So is that included in that?
I'm not sure about that, honestly, so that's the first time I've heard of that. But we could look at the zoning, but again, anything that is legal, that passes zoning and can get a permit,
Absolutely
would be
correct.
something. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have one. There, you moved. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I want to ask the mayor about why it's so hard for DC zoning. We apply for DC zoning, and these people are not responding to us.
What did you apply for, dear?
I applied for a 3-bedroom handicap.
Okay, so let me figure out which office that you're working with and see if we can get your response, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, you had a question?
Okay, hi. I'm Mayor Bowser. I am actually a homeowner in Ward 7. I've been following you around the city, trying to speak about a couple of things. I was going to try to catch you after, but since you raised a couple of relevant points, I thought I'd just bring it up.
Okay.
First, about affordable housing and low-income housing. So I have been reviewing the DC Home Equity Report, and I noticed that Ward 7 and 8 currently hold about 50% of the city's affordable housing stock. However, we are still, as part of your targets, receiving an equal share of affordable housing units that are outlined for the 2025 goals. In my read of that report, that is an inequitable a distribution of affordable housing. We're still slated, as I mentioned, to get about 10% of each of the 10 planning areas, which is really creating and exacerbating the high concentration of affordable housing that currently exists in Ward 7 and 8. I'd like to ask your support in making sure that the Office of Planning, or really revising those targets so that the far northwest wards, specifically like the Rock Creek West area that currently holds 0.01% of the affordable housing units, that they are encouraged to take on more of the targets, of the housing targets for affordable units. Currently, that is not the case, and it really is inequitable.
I got your point.
The second issue I have, and you may remember me from your Big Ideas Forum, I stood up and discussed of the fact that I'm a mom of 4. I was advocating for creating equity in public schools in Ward 7. I'm aware of your plans for the STEM center that's being touted for the
Wilkinson.
I know, yes, we're on the same page.
Yes.
That's not the name, but we're on the same page. I'd really like to request that we expand that into a school that's actually accessible and available for the students. It seems like now under your current plans that will largely be designated for after-school programs or summer programs, but having a school associated with that would really serve the needs of the community. I actually have a proposal in hand. I've mentioned it to the Deputy Mayor of Education, the Chancellor. I've been around the world, but I really need to make sure that you get a copy of this so that you're aware of the proposal for creating equity in public schools in DC. Currently, all of the top performing schools are sitting in Northwest. We don't have any down in Southeast, and we really need your help in building those for our neighborhoods.
I got you. Yep, we can grab that, please. Okay, first question, targeting our goals. So before we had that plan, there were no goals for any planning area. And sometimes when that happens, we get projects and we decide how to fund projects just based on the creation of affordable housing. In fact, when I became mayor, our HPTF applications actually got a bonus to locate in Ward 7 and 8. So we were incentivizing the creation of more housing. Now, there are a lot of reasons behind that, that mostly have to do with land value. So all things being equal, if the housing is more expensive in one place than it is someplace else, you can get more affordable housing if you go to the place where the land value is a little bit less. That math makes sense. But that's not our approach. Our approach is to go in every part of the city and set a goal for affordable housing. And some of the planning areas that you just described in Northwest, DHCD has never had a project that we invested in for affordable, ever. And so we're changing that, but we also recognize the cost involved in changing that. And it's going to take a bigger chunk of our HPTF to get it done. But we believe it's worth it to get it done. And so we're going to continue on that path. It's going to take more dollars. So when you hear me during the budget season saying we got to fight for this to keep it whole, HPTF, and I imagine that we are going to have that fight. So, and the argument will be, well, we don't need HPTF for more homeowners or for more middle income people. We need it all for lower income people. And I don't want to pit our income groups against each other because we need new housing in every part of the income spectrum. So it's my job to tell you what I think we need. And we can't peel off and then it will be, it's a big chunk of money. It's over $400 million that we've spent. So there will be some tendency, I suspect, to say, no, you can't use it for that. Why are you using it for that high cost land in Ward 3? You can't use it for that. You can only use it for this. So you understand our philosophy and we're going to keep fighting because we've developed a plan. It's been well received. We're marching towards it. I think we're 70% of the total goal, 51% of the affordable housing goal to get to 2025. So we got to keep pushing and not get off track. On your second question about schools, I think we have talked about this before. Nothing I would like more to build a new school for Ward 7. And I want to make sure that we have the students and families to fill that school. And so I think the path that we're on and building our early childhood center that just opened at Old Rundle Highlands, making sure our elementary feeders are feeling confident about the next step is a way. But I want to look at your proposal. If you're thinking at it in a way and we're not thinking about it, then it's fine. And the final thing I say is this. Because you mentioned that the high-performing schools are in the West. And I want to tell you, they include a lot of your kids, okay? So they're not high-performing because there's some magic to the building. Part of the reason that they're high-performing is because your excellent kids go there, okay? And so I recognize that we have to do more to build the faith that you say, if I go to school in Ward 7 with my Ward 7 kids and their friends and neighbors, that it's also going to be an excellent school. We got to do some work. I've lived here long enough to know that there's something baked in us. Like when I say all we know, all my life, there's something baked in us a little bit that says it's better in the West. Or the term about the ice being colder. So we got to do some work about saying that ours and our kids and neighbors in the school, for them, it's also, but like that's a longer conversation. Your point is that you want Wilkinson as another school, and I'm going to make sure that I'm kicking the tires on that. It may not be this year, but what I'm telling you is what we're doing at Wilkinson won't prevent a school from opening there. In fact, what it's saying is it shouldn't be vacant anymore. We're getting millions of dollars in investment to get the building ready, and we can pivot when everything about the neighborhood, and I spend, my brother lives in Hillcrest, so I spend a lot of time in Hillcrest, and there's just more families, and we see that turning. So I just you asked me a question that involved a lot of numbers, from land value to school age kids in a given boundary. But that's how we'll make the decisions about how to use your limited tax dollars, and we're going to do the best we can. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
We now return to our previously scheduled program, already in progress.